He's got the ideas. You know, Barack Obama just made this very inspiring speech, but I'm convinced that Rudy Giuliani actually is the one, Chris, who really embraces the Kennedy vision as he put it forth in 1960. And I think the American people and Florida voters tomorrow are going to be drawn to that.
Hi, it's Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Friday, February 1st, 2008, and this is episode 3 of our Friday Clip Extravaganza. As you can see, that was Congressman David Dreyer of California, obviously before the Florida primary, saying how Rudy Giuliani was actually the inheritor of the JFK mantle. You know, a lot of people don't know this yet, but it turns out that Rudy has the least successful campaign in American history if you judge it by dollars spent to delegates earned. Rudy spent over $50 million for a single delegate. You know, in last week's episode, we dedicated it pretty much all to Mitt Romney and that cool Superfly little episode where he was meeting those African-American supporters, and he was coming up with all these, like, you know, funky terminology and stuff. But this week we're going to have to go back and do Mitt Romney again because he's just coming at us nonstop with these crazy clips. You know, after Mitt Romney lost the Florida primary, he really had to do everything he could to come back and try to get back in the race against John McCain. And you know that McCain, in the other debates, he's always like cracking jokes and laughing and stuff like that. And Mitt was trying to get in on some of that action in Wednesday night's debate. The problem is, what holds him back is Mitt's deep inner humorlessness that really prevents him from really mobilizing that in a debate context. Now here, in an example of Mitt's deep debating incompetence, he finds himself cracking up as John McCain blames him for layoffs.
I think he managed companies, and he bought and he sold, and sometimes people lost their jobs. That's the nature of that business. But the fact is, we're at a time in our history.
That kind of cackle, it kind of reminded us of a certain TV show. So you see here, John McCain is making a reference to Mitt's history of massive job layoffs. And here you come in, Mitt doing the classic Burnsian unemployment cackle. You see it right there in slow motion? Yes, right, okay. It's not a good thing. Now, debates are made up of key cutting moments. And in this debate, the Republican debate last Wednesday, Mitt Romney managed to disappoint and humiliate his supporters in ways both large and small. Now, you've already seen the layoffs cackle, but there was another point when John McCain was caught telling an untruth about Mitt Romney. So this should have been the crux of the debate, where Mitt Romney comes in and says, absolutely not, in one crisp, clearly delivered line. But look what happens.
Senator McCain has said over and over again that you supported a timetable for phased withdrawal from Iraq. Is that true?
Absolutely, unequivocally, if I can get that word out, unequivocally, absolutely no.
Now, you know, we told you at the head of the show that Rudy Giuliani spent $50 million for one delegate, and at that rate, to have actually won the nomination, he would have had to spend approximately $7 billion on his campaign. But if you watch here, there's a moment that tells you that there's someone else who's not too impressed with how Rudy did in this campaign.
My wife, Judith, wants to thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And I want to thank...
A little hesitation there, I think. The other thing is, with a defeat this humiliating for Rudy, he might have to go back to pure monogamy. I'm Josh Marshall from TPM Media, and we'll talk to you next week.